Hi, everybody. This is Chris.
This is Matt.
This is my camera being too low, so everybody. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Already off to a quality professional start for this episode, where we talk about Forbidden Forest. If you can't tell by what's on the screen, um, just a reminder: it's not a review. This is a book club format. We do 2 games a month. One is a long game where we spend the entire month playing it. One is a short game where we spend a day or so playing it. This is the short game. This one you can get a sense of in about half hour if you really want.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't take me long to figure out what it was about, but I really enjoyed the whole time I played it.
Mm-hmm. It's from 1983. It's from Cosmi, and it's from, I don't want to say our hero, Paul Norman, but God, I love that guy.
We love Paul Norman and his weird 1998 style multimedia website.
Love that. Love all his games. Love his sensibilities of like violence and action and
Yep,
color
and
and music.
music. Yeah. Yeah, Paul Norman is great.
Yeah. And he's not somebody that like I hear mentioned when I bounce around from classical gaming things I read. So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to get in here and play them. Now, this is the original game to Beyond Forbidden Forest, which was the sequel, which was what we did last year. So we're going to compare at some point in time those 2 games, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But starting with this game on its own, I think you already said you liked it, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It's pretty limited in what you're doing. It's pretty simple mechanically. The biggest thing that you're fighting in this game is how fast the guy turns around. Uh, but yeah, you're running left and right. It's got some pretty neat little things like the parallax scrolling and the
Mm-hmm.
the music and the feel of it is really good, just like Beyond the Forbidden Forest.
Yeah. Uh, Commodore only. I believe Commodore only, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, Atari 8-bit, it says.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Um, I might have to go looking for that because I only knew it was out on Commodore. And this definitely uses that Commodore uh, graphics system, which all the more interesting to me how he got it to do the parallax, knowing what I know about how Commodore, because this isn't sprite graphics, this is
Yeah.
character graphics.
Yeah, I really like the graphical style. I
Mm.
think Beyond the Forbidden Forest was definitely an evolution of this style and probably did it better. But I like how crazy everything looks. It looks kind of
Mm-hmm.
hairy and messy in a way that I like.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something for 1983 looks good. I'm
Yeah.
sure people who are looking at this who aren't used to games from 1983 are probably like, "Oof, this game's rough." But thinking about it in 1983, this is a good-looking game.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was graphically it was fine. Like you know what everything is, the colors are the colors.
Mm-hmm.
But
The
that moon is
music's
fantastic.
the moon's fantastic. The moon moves. The light changes. The music is right up there with the rest of Paul Norman's stuff. It's so he just really could make the Commodore sing.
Yeah.
And we had fun. Great review, everybody. Bye.
Not a review, remember?
I know,
We
but well, this is part of why. Because if we were going to do a review, it's like graphics are great for 1983, music solid, we had fun. Here's some of our violent deaths, though. I like to talk about that. I like to go, you know,
right.
not as
The
violent as Beyond Forbidden Forest. Not all of
No, I missed the weird violent deaths of the Forbidden Beyond the Forbidden Forest,
them.
but I still like am impressed that there is bloody deaths in it. Like it still has that kind of
Subversive
perversity,
horror,
yeah,
yeah.
subversive, yeah, feel that I really always enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I missed getting your blood sucked out by the mosquitoes and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's all right. It's still a good time. He still does the dance when you beat level.
Yep.
But I noticed one of the things I noticed about this game was that everything goes on just a little bit longer than I expected it to.
Mm-hmm.
The dance goes on a little longer. Just like every little transition just seems to take a little too long.
A little
It's
too
really
long.
interesting. And I don't know if that's the Commodore or if that's just the pacing of the game,
I think it's the
but
pacing of the game, and I will have that be like my one knock against it. The pacing. There's too many bees, or there's too many frogs, or there's everything's just a little. It needed to be snappied up just a little bit, just tightened in a little bit.
yeah. And the way the difficulty goes up, it doesn't really change the game enough to keep me wanting to like do it
No.
on a higher difficulty. It's just more of a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, dealing with these monsters is once you get the hang of it, it's mostly just execution and it being a pain in the ass.
And to some extent, luck.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck to this game. The first
There's
time I got to the dragon, I like one shot killed that sucker, or
yeah.
like it didn't take any time at all because I like got a good drop and just
Mm-hmm.
like shot him and I was done. And then I went back, I was like, how did I beat this thing? Because he kills me so quick when he comes with the fireballs. But yeah, but it's all right.
Yeah. I do a lot of bees at the first part because I had a hard time trying to figure out how to actually start in my game.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
because it starts out in this sort of demo mode where you can just fight bees for as long as you want. And then you got to hit control. Here we go. Now you pick a
yeah,
level.
yeah. What did you play on?
I started innocent. I started
Oh, did
innocent.
you?
I
I think I
did.
started on Trooper.
Yeah. And I feel no shame because the whole game is just a matter of you play through and then it raises your level and then you play through and it raises your level and you play through. There's no like, oh, you finished it on hardest, you get a special end screen. This is
Yeah, no, it's boiled down and really simple.
it,
The mechanic of the arrows, again, like this, like Beyond the Forbidden Forest, has a really good manual that tells you exactly what you need to know
mm-hmm.
to beat every one of these monsters. Like it tells you exactly
Yeah.
the trick. So it can feel frustrating to figure it out, but if you just go back to the manual, you're golden. Just like read
Yeah.
that sucker.
Read that. Yeah. And it is each one's just a trick. And it the thing I like about that is there's no I never feel like there's a gotcha moment because of it. It's not trying to get one over on the player. It's like, here's the skill I'm trying to see if you can do.
Right.
Can you do it? Here's the next skill I'm trying to see if you can do. Can you do it? And it respects the player.
Hmm. Yeah. It the way it works is you load an arrow,
Mm-hmm.
you hit fire to load an arrow, and then you hit fire again to shoot the arrow,
Right.
and left and right to run, and
Right.
that's it.
Well,
So
you'll notice there I have bars on the side of my screen.
yes, I did notice that.
I have an up and down that does absolutely nothing. So you're right in that that is it. But apparently there's supposed to be something else going on. And I was about to ask you, like, did you ever really use that up and down?
No, never. I just like you can eyeball it
No. Mm-hmm.
and you get a feel for it. Yeah, you're doing the dance now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Such a weird dance. Another thing I noticed that was odd when you're getting eaten by the I think the skeletons, he's
Mm-hmm.
doing the dance,
Is
which is
he?
really
Yeah.
really strange. Like I know they just reused the animation, but
Oh yeah. Good use
what a
of
weird what a
space.
weird thing to do when you're being eaten by something is to do the finish
anyone
the level dance.
anyone watching wondering what these are frogs. It's raining frogs. The
This
Demogorgon
level,
is throwing frogs at you.
yeah, because why not?
And
The
that's
frogs drove me nuts
mm-hmm.
because they keep falling after you shoot them.
Mm-hmm. You
Their
still
dead
get smushed
bodies
by
can
them.
fall
Yep.
on you. Yeah, and I did not care for that.
I think frogs and bees were both a good example of he wanted the game to have some depth into the screen as well as just left and right. And I think that's cool. It's something I wouldn't have necessarily paid attention to with just Beyond the Forbidden Forest, because you still, even though you could go in and out, you were still basically firing left and right. You were just picking which plane you were moving on. This, oddly, by leaving you in one spot and having stuff thrown at you, I feel like has more depth.
That's interesting. Yeah, I see your point. I liked Beyond the Forbidden Forest being able to like run around and go in and out rather than just running left and right. But that is a good point. It does feel a little
deeper
because you're managing that front and back by turning rather than running in and out of the screen. But he didn't lean into it like he did in Beyond the Forbidden Forest with its omnipresent 4D
experience. Yes.
Yeah. Is that what it was called? I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Something like that.
Now, while we're kind of watching the dragon kill me, we both wanted to talk about this because how he got the job. This was how he got the job at Cosmi to make these games. Was he was working on this for a company that was going out of business. And Cosmi showed up to buy the office furniture off them, saw him working on it, and hired him.
What a great story.
I want that to be my story. I want someone to walk into my job and be like, holy crap, you're good at this. Come work for us instead.
Yeah, I know. I work from home, so the odds of that happening.
Yeah, I know it's going to be like,
buy my office furniture.
You could put it on Craigslist.
I could.
Put it on Craigslist. Chair to good video game company.
Yeah. Cheap.
Hire me or best offer.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try. I don't know. Do people still use Craigslist?
I'm sure some
Marketplace.
Yeah. Oh, I won't use Facebook if I don't have
to. Yeah, I hear you.
I got my Amiga off the Craigslist, so.
Yeah, I think the common today people post on both. That's been my experience shopping for things.
One of the things I want to notice, you'll notice like I ran out of guys. It is a arcadey guy count thing. But then it says press button to continue.
Yes.
You just keep right on playing. Like it stops your score. So there is still a skill level counter thing, but if you're just playing the game to see all the monsters and all the deaths and all the fun, it stays out of your way. And I think that's... Yeah, go.
I was going to say, that's really, in my opinion, I did not give a shit about the score. I just wanted to see all the monsters and...
have fun with it.
And, experience it and hear the music and see the dance, and that's it. Like, I don't really care.
And I kind of want to point that out because I sometimes hear people talk about like old school games were harder. We shouldn't have like kid levels or easy levels on these new games and stuff. Yeah, but they weren't. They really weren't. And if you go back to like Atari games had a grid in them in the manual that showed what all the select levels got you to turn stuff on and off. And there were always children levels.
Like,
old games gave you a gradient of difficulty, usually. Some did. Or, tried to respect your time or something. So this is a fun game. It's challenging. But it's not mean. It respects you as a player every step of the way.
Yeah.
When you do screw up and you do die, you get a fun animation.
It goes on a little too long.
A little too long, but they don't just like you lose, sucker, and then move on. The death itself is a fun experience.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty kind to you, and like I don't understand gatekeeping game difficulty.
No, I don't
either. But whatever. I mean, if it makes you feel good, go for it.
Yeah. I won't play with you, but whatever.
Yeah.
I gatekeeping.
Right.
That's my gatekeeping.
Very good.
Got him. Don't know how I did. Don't care. Then it gives a nice little same fire thing in the background. Uh, my guy has gone into stealth gear now.
Yes, yeah, you're like a little robber guy. That's pretty cool. I had a I got to there's a level where there's this giant like Grim Reaper guy on the horizon and he sends skeletons after you.
I think that's this.
Yeah, that was a really hard level and it also glitched out
Oh,
on
did it?
me. Yeah, so I did not get the benefit of the perpetual continues.
Hmm.
My first I played this a few times, but the first time I sat down for a significant amount of time and to play through it, like I was like, I'll bet you I can beat this in one sit through, uh, and that's what happened. And it was kind of a bummer because this fucker is hard to hit. I
He
hate
is
this
hard to
guy.
hit, and he'll teleport around this like that. Oh, oh! And if you stop the
Yep.
fire and a skeleton's too close, you're done.
Yeah. This level's all about balancing where that guy is on the horizon, how slow your guy turns, which is very very slow, and how close that skeleton is to you. And like you can run forever, but what I liked about it is I'd get this feeling like, okay, I'm gonna push it because he's pretty close to the direction I'm
Mm-hmm.
running. I think I can get this shot off, and that was what was fun about it to
Yeah.
me. I wasn't just continually executing this maneuver of run right, arm
Stop and
arrow,
shoot.
run right,
Yeah.
shoot guy. Uh, it was like
You had a tactical
can I
decision to
get this
make.
off?
Yeah.
Right.
And you felt like you could make it.
Yep.
Um,
You did not make
I
that.
don't make it. No. It takes me a long time to make this one.
Yeah.
Oh, unless he like, yeah, but still just right by the side of his head because you got to shoot him in the face.
Yep. And likewise in like the first time I sat down to play it, I didn't really understand the arrow mechanic all that well.
Mm-hmm.
But once I like kind of got into this game, I loved like the early levels because you can just stand there and fire off arrows at those spiders. You don't even have to run.
Mm-mm.
And like figuring that out made it really fun
Yeah. It's kind of
because
fun to just
yeah,
like
like
back and forth.
I can get better at this. Like you know, I can speed up the playthrough because it's kind of like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it's paced
Paced. I mean,
paced weird.
yeah, it's paced weird.
Maybe if you're really good at it, I don't know. Like I could not hit this guy. You have to hit him a bunch of times, right? It's
No,
not a
just one.
one and done.
It's one and done.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
You
Maybe
just
it
got
was
to hit
more
him in the
glitched out than
face.
I thought. Because your arrow like disappears if you hit him, right?
Like everything goes. You'll see. I do get past him.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
let's find that because I swear I was hitting him in the face because the arrow would hit him and disappear. Oh, you died.
I died. I die a lot. I was gonna say something. Oh, there's two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the time limit and the arrows.
I
So we
never ran out of arrows. Did you?
only once, and that was when I was glitched out and playing just bees, and I kind of got the hang of it, and I basically shot like crazy at the bees, and then ran out of arrows.
You're supposed to have four, I think, according to the.
You've got those four
Uh,
quivers at the bottom, and as you shoot a lot, like there it was, by the way. Did you see that?
oh no, I missed it.
So one in the face, and he does that.
Oh, hmm.
Sometimes you get
Well,
lucky, and he just spawns right in front of you, and you just when you can do it right away.
yeah.
Yeah, each of those quivers has a certain amount of arrows, and as you go through them, they disappear, and then I think you got 10 arrows after all your quivers are gone, and then you're out of arrows.
I
Uh,
see.
I know if the night ends before you kill the Demogorgon, then the game is over, and you got to start.
Oh, interesting.
So you've got till that moon gets to the other side, which I'm closing in
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Here comes the
Oh, I
snake.
never knew that.
Yeah,
Is that in the manual? I guess I
I
just
think
read the
so.
manual to find out how to fight the monsters. I didn't give it a read through.
I think so. Now I don't know. Here comes the snake. Oh,
Oh, that's a spooky snake.
and he melts you. That's one of
That's
the
great.
few different deaths. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
you shoot him in the
Oh,
face and he bleeds out.
that's a little rough
Yeah.
for 1983 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you've made short work of that level.
Yeah, sometimes you just like, oh, I got a good shot off. Yay.
Yeah. And now you should be at the Demigorgon, am I
I believe you are
correct?
correct, sir.
Let's take a look.
So I don't lose to the Demogorgon this time, which I kind of wish I had. God damn, stop dancing.
I know it goes on so long.
It's like you can see him when the lightning flashes.
Yeah,
You can see where he is in the back. You get a little splash of color. And if you're looking along the horizon, sometimes you'll see some of the graphics change to give you a hint as to where he is. And
that's so great.
so you got to shoot him in the dark when you can't see him. Like you just move to the left. He's over on my left side now, and I'm still shooting right. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Oh, get him, Chris. Yeah, the mood of this game is so good. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
fall, you're running through the woods for some reason with the bow and arrow. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
There's pressure to all this too. Like it's like we talk about it being fair to you, but at the same time, you can't just sit around forever goofing off. Like you've got
Yeah,
to keep moving, keep shooting.
right. Managing that is what makes it fun and challenging. There you go.
There you go. I got him.
Yep. His Demigorgon energy is flying all over the
Mm-hmm.
place.
And I remember from as a kid, if he gets close enough to you to like win, you just see this giant head come down into the screen to
Great.
get you. Yeah. And then it
Huh.
starts over. And that's it. That's the you've just watched all of Forbidden Forest.
Yep. Took 20 minutes,
Took 20 minutes.
but it can't take much longer.
Yeah, it can.
Oh, you
It's
at?
also fun. Like there was no part of anything I did in this where I was mad or wasn't having fun or didn't like the game or there's some things where I'm like, oh, I got to try a little harder. Or, oh, the skeletons are a little. That's skeletons are rough.
Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest level. Just because you have to keep moving so
Mhm.
much, you have to keep running. You don't have a lot of time to consider your options.
Oddly, I won't say this is a great game. I don't see me going back and picking this up and playing it often.
It it's one
I
it's
won't
one to
say
trot
never,
out.
but
Yeah, it's a good. Like I like that we're playing it in the fall.
mm-hmm.
It's a good like Halloween kind of
Yep,
thing. Sit down with it,
Happy
play
October
through it.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend playing it, but yeah, I don't think I'll like ever go back and
Mm-mm.
try to get a high score on it or anything. It just doesn't feel like that kind of game.
No. I mean, I guess if you got the right friends or it's a challenge for something, then maybe. But I've got other games,
Yeah,
and I think this is another one of those games that suffers from in 1983. What else did you have? You probably played this game a lot,
right.
but now it's fun. It's well done. I like all the stuff about it. But
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
want a Forbidden Forest vibe, I'm gonna go play Beyond Forbidden Forest.
yeah. I think Beyond the Forbidden Forest is a more solid game with more depth. It looks better. It's a little more dynamic. Uh,
Tracksuit's better.
Tracksuit's way better,
Tracksuit's
which
better.
is important.
Yep.
Yeah, we should do a retrospective on the best
Tracksuits.
tracksuits in gaming because we did Project Firestart. That had a really good tracksuit.
A lot of channels do top 10 lists. Should we do a top 10 tracksuits?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other games have them.
Well,
Well,
that's what
yeah,
we got to
we'll
find. We
we'll
got to
put a
find 10
pin in it.
tracksuits.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that and come back to it.
Uh,
But yeah, definitely Beyond the Forbidden Forest.
yeah.
I mean, I'd say play them both because
Mm-hmm.
you could do it. You could do it in an afternoon, and you'd know what
Yeah.
it's about, and you'd have the experience. Uh, like from a progression standpoint, what's fun is just seeing the next monster.
Yeah. It's also
Oof.
interesting to see, like, one of the things I like about some of these old games and these old, I don't know if I want to call it franchises, but properties or something like that, where you've got the same developer working on both, and you can see the evolution of their skill and gaming's mentality and where things have changed. Because Forbidden Forest and Beyond Forbidden Forest are the same guy on the same system, the same motif, but done differently.
And only 2 years different.
Was it
Yeah,
85?
Forbidden Forest was 85 and Forbidden Forest was 83. But he came a long way in that 2 years. It's very good. Good
Yeah.
job, Paul Norman. Keep doing it.
Yeah. I think he got out of gaming, though.
Yeah, I think he does more music stuff now, maybe. I don't know.
I thought for sure you were going to say 88 on this, but 85, huh? I
Yeah,
don't even remember my own stuff.
no. We're both getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the Forbidden Forest. What about you? Are you having a moment? Are you okay? You look upset. Chris?
Who
Oh,
did this? Who's
who did
behind
what?
this? This is not okay. Uh, I'm having a moment. I'm absolutely positively having a moment. Um,
You want to talk about it?
I don't know. I don't know that if I want to share this with anybody. I'm trying to find out who made this game. Uh, Published by Cosmi, Webfoot Technologies.
God, it's like a game trying to guess what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I wanted to look into when Beyond Forbidden Forest was done, and I saw that there's a Forbidden Forest 3D.
Yeah, in like 2003, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that in passing. I don't know how I feel about it. Uh, I
I,
want Paul Norman.
I know. I I gotta show this. Hang on. So talk for a second while I get this going, because
Oh
there's
man.
something you've got to see. It's not the Forbidden Forest 3D thing.
Boy.
I know. I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know. And usually when you do this, it's the beginning or middle of the conversation. So
But
I
yeah,
still
you
have shit
already
to
been
say
like,
about the
I'm out
game,
of
but
things to say.
I already said I'm done talking about the Forbidden Forest. So now,
Well, that's okay.
now
I've got what you can talk about now. You ready?
yeah, let's
That's
see.
what it looks like
Oh, and the Demigorgon
when the
eats you.
Demogorgon eats you. Yeah, that's why I was
That is
like,
a big head. That's fantastic.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
So yeah, this game, Paul Norman had a great attention to really making these fun little moments and stitching enough of them together in a cohesive manner that yeah, it's like a series of mini games. Every monster is its own game, but they feel like they're part of the same game. And I can't underscore how tricky that is to make
Right.
essentially multiple different games with the same mechanic and then bring the same aesthetic from creature to creature to creature so you don't feel like you're being jarred out of the experience each time.
Right. Yeah. It's a good blend of mechanics and gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
But the mood is still my favorite part of
Oh,
these.
mood's fantastic. All right. And we both said we're done here. We got nothing else to say about this. It's a short game.
Short game.
If you're looking for either, a good fall fix for some small games, these two are great. If you want a Stranger Things fix, they both are the Demogorgon. Go fight the Demogorgon. Uh, anyway, I'm going to do this. Our next long game.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, where'd you go? Chris, come back to
I'm
me.
coming back. Whoa!
Oh, I was so frightened. I felt so alone.
The Demogorgon got me, but I had another guy, so I've come back.
Right.
I'll need some more quarters if I have to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing the seventh guest.
Playing Seventh Guest.
Yeah.
Screw cans. Just say that right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about cans and other things in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And
no, go.
our next short game will be
Stellar 7.
Stellar 7, which I had never heard of until about 8 minutes ago when I was like, what's our next short game? And you were like, Stellar 7.
It was a game.
State of the art.
Well, and like this is the DOS box. I played it on Commodore. It goes all the way back to Apple II. I mean, it was published over many things over 10 years. So I'll probably try and get a little bit of graphics from each just because it did have such a journey.
Yeah, it was one of those wireframe tank games, right?
hmm
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that.
Yeah. So to me, it'll be fun to see, like, again, I think this is a very early mid 80s start to the game. So the wireframe back then on a home computer was rough. And by the time it got to like the VGA graphics on DOS and stuff, probably a totally different game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
it'll be fun. And of course, in Thursday, more Deathlord.
Death Lord. Join
Uh,
us live.
join us live for Deathlord. I think we will probably try to get you a couple more levels
Hell
and then
yeah.
go explore. I want to do like one new thing every episode. So I think
Okay.
this one will be going to the villages to the east,
Okay.
talking to some of them there. Unlock a little more story and get you some more levels because I think levels are
I
something.
love to level up.
Yeah. But I don't
Big
want,
fan.
2 weeks of us just, or a week of us just walking around one level of a dungeon getting XP.
Yeah.
It's not fun to
Right.
do. It's not fun to watch.
Right.
We'll go visit some villages and from there.
All right.
All right. Anything else? If not,
That's all I got.
bye, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye. Big thank you to all of you watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, suggesting games, commenting on our videos, or supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate all of your support and look forward to sharing many more videos with you. Thank you again.